Imagine waking up one morning and finding yourself in a city that didn't exist a decade ago. Not just a new neighborhood, an entire city designed from scratch on one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Sounds like science fiction. Well, it's not. It's happening right now in Jamaica. The Jamaican government has just announced something bold, the creation of a third city, a place meant to rebalance the country's future, remove the pressure on Kingston and Montego Bay, and unlock opportunities that the world has never imagined. But here's the twist. The location they chose isn't where you'd expect. Later in this video, you'll discover over 98% of those who watch our videos are not subscribers. Please help us and subscribe to our channel. Why build an entirely new city when Jamaica already has Kingston and Montego Bay? The answer is simple and powerful. It comes down to 3 reasons. Kingston and Montego Bay are bursting at the seams, overwhelmed by traffic, crowded neighborhoods, and infrastructure struggling to keep pace with modern life. Daily life in these cities is marked by congestion, limited public services, and the constant challenge of balancing growth with livability. The pressure on housing, transportation, and basic amenities shows just how urgently Jamaica needs a fresh urban solution. A new city in this region could bring much-needed jobs, modern infrastructure, and opportunities that empower local communities. By creating a hub here, Jamaica can spread prosperity more evenly, giving residents a chance to thrive without leaving their hometowns. Building a city from scratch also allows planners to think beyond the constraints of the past. This new city can embrace sustainable tourism, smart infrastructure, and digital-ready systems that older cities can only retrofit. Think of it like building with Lego. You can keep stacking random pieces on an old structure hoping it holds together. Or you can clear the table and create something new, balanced, and beautiful from the ground up. Now, the big reveal. The place chosen for Jamaica's new city is Black River in St. Elizabeth. You might never have heard of it. Today, it's a quiet coastal town, narrow streets, old colonial buildings, and fishermen casting their nets at sunrise. But 200 years ago, Black River was one of the busiest ports in the Caribbean, a hub of trade, wealth, and innovation. It was even one of the first towns in the Western Hemisphere to have electricity, and now history is turning full circle. The government wants Black River to rise again. This time, not just as a port, but as Jamaica's third city. A modern hub of opportunity built on ancient roots. But this story isn't only about bricks and roads. It's about jobs, education, and the chance to transform an entire region. So what does this new city actually mean for Jamaica? Let's break it down into 3 powerful impacts. The new city promises to be a powerhouse for Jamaica's economy, creating thousands of jobs across multiple sectors. Opportunities won't be limited to construction. Logistics, tourism, technology, and green industries will all thrive here. By attracting both local talent and global investors, the city could become a dynamic engine of growth that strengthens the entire nation. Education and technology will also play a central role in shaping the city's future. With new campuses, research centers, and advanced digital infrastructure, it could become a knowledge hub where young talent can innovate and excel without leaving the island. Daily life in the city is designed to be both practical and enjoyable. Smart public transport, affordable housing, and thoughtfully designed spaces for families, culture, and leisure aim to create a high quality of life for all residents. Here, living well isn't just a possibility. It's built into the very blueprint of the city. But here's the challenge. Dreams this big don't come easy, and the true test of Jamaica's third city lies not in vision, but in the obstacles it must overcome. Behind the glossy visions of glass towers, clean boulevards, and smart infrastructure, there are hidden challenges that could shape this bold experiment. The first challenge is money. Building a city from scratch is astronomically expensive. Roads, power grids, water systems, schools, hospitals, they don't appear overnight. And Jamaica, like many small nations, faces tight budgets and growing debts. The question is simple: who will pay for this future? Then comes time. Cities aren't built in years, but in decades. A project this ambitious risks being slowed down by politics, bureaucracy, or a simple lack of momentum. And perhaps the most complex challenge of all, trust. Local communities often fear that such projects are made not for them, but for outsiders, investors, tourists, or the wealthy few. If ordinary Jamaicans feel left out, the city could end up as an empty showcase, a place people admire from afar but never truly call home. So while the vision shines bright, the shadows are real. And whether Black River rises again as a thriving metropolis or fades into another half-built dream, Jamaica isn't the first country to dream of building a city from scratch. It is astronomically expensive. Roads, power grids, water systems, schools, hospitals, they don't appear overnight. And Jamaica, like many small nations, faces tight budgets and growing debts. The question is simple. Who will pay for this future? Then comes time. Cities aren't built in years, but in decades. A project this ambitious risks being slowed down by politics, bureaucracy, or a simple lack of momentum. And perhaps the most complex challenge of all, trust. Local communities often fear that such projects are made not for them, but for outsiders, investors, tourists, or the wealthy few. And the past is full of lessons, both inspiring and cautionary. Take Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. Built in the 1960s in the middle of nowhere, it was a symbol of ambition and national pride. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But critics say its futuristic design feels cold, disconnected from daily human life. Or look at Naypyidaw, Myanmar's capital, planned as a modern replacement for Yangon. It has massive highways, enormous government buildings, and endless empty spaces. But there's one problem. The people never came. It became a ghost city, built for millions but inhabited by only a few. What do these examples teach us? That cities aren't just about architecture or technology or politics. They live or die by something far more human, whether people feel they belong there. For young Jamaicans, Black River could mean jobs, education, and a future that doesn't require leaving the island. A young graduate might dream of working in a modern tech hub without flying to Miami or London. A fisherman's child might imagine new schools, safer roads, and opportunities their parents never had. But others feel fear. Locals in St. Elizabeth worry that the new city could raise the cost of living, push them out of their own communities, and serve outsiders more than residents. They've seen what happens when development comes without protection. The wealthy buy the land, and the locals are left behind. And then there's pride. Many Jamaicans see this project as a chance to rewrite history, to revive Black River's legacy as a center of innovation and trade. They want it to succeed, not just as an urban plan, but as a symbol that Jamaica can dream big and deliver. Black River's rebirth isn't happening in isolation. Across Jamaica, a wave of transformation is already reshaping the Esquiline and the nation's identity. In Montego Bay, construction has begun on the Caribbean's tallest hotel, a 33-story tower designed to attract tourists from around the world. Nearby, luxury residential complexes rise from the coastline, promising private peninsulas, rooftop pools, and gated communities for the wealthy. These projects signal a Jamaica that wants to compete on the global stage, not just as a beach paradise, but as a modern, ambitious hub of tourism, investment, and innovation. Black River sits right at the center of this crossroads. If done right, it could balance the scales, bringing modern growth to communities long left behind. If done wrong, it risks becoming another glittering project that leaves ordinary people in the shadows. For decades, the economic spotlight has shined on places like the Cayman Islands, with their banking sector, or the Bahamas with luxury tourism and cruise ships. Even the tiny island of Barbados has gained global attention by rebranding itself as a digital and fintech hub. But Jamaica has something the others don't: size, culture, and influence. With nearly 3 million people, world-famous music, and a strategic location, Jamaica's uniquely positioned to lead the region. What it lacked was modern infrastructure to match its potential. That's where the third city comes in. A purpose-built hub in Black River could reposition Jamaica not just as a tourist destination, but as a Caribbean powerhouse for logistics, trade, and technology. It could rival Freeport in the Bahamas, challenge Port of Spain and Trinidad, and even attract investors who might otherwise look to Miami. The Caribbean is entering a new era, and Jamaica's third city may be the key that tilts the balance of power. Leave a comment below with your thoughts, whether you support the project, question it, or have something to add from your own experience. And if you want to keep following the real stories that shape Jamaica, make sure to subscribe, because the future doesn't just happen. It's made by those who stay informed.